is a dragon.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to IGN Live at San Diego Comic-Con, brought to you by the Samsung Galaxy S4. I'm Daemon Hatfield. I'm joined by my good friend, Greg Miller.
That's me.
For the next 3 days, we are going to be live streaming San Diego Comic-Con to you. Stay right where you are, get comfortable, put your feet up.
Lose the pants, all right, sexy?
This is the best way to experience the show, for sure. You don't want to be over here in the convention center.
There's a sun out there?
It's already, we were there last night, it was already kind of stinky.
Yeah.
So,
That's how it goes.
Greg, we have a really good show planned for everybody.
Every day, Damon. Not just today. Today's going to be really good.
Today, tomorrow, Saturday. We have celebrities coming in here, like
Games.
real celebrities.
Real celebrities.
Real
Not
important
like
people.
the normal people who show up and talk to us about things.
Like real people are
They've
coming
been in
here.
movies, on Friends.
Anything that has to do with movies, TV, games, comics, that's what we're going to be talking about over the next 3 days, bringing it straight to you.
Right.
This is day one.
Yeah.
In order to help us get prepped for day one, our IGN super friends joining us, Jim, Eric, and Joey.
The brain trust, we call them.
Yes.
That's right.
Thank you for having us.
There's
Oh,
a
thank you
combined
for coming.
IQ of
So
80 on this side.
I hope you don't mind, but I'm already not wearing pants.
That's
Yeah.
exactly how it's
Yeah.
supposed to be.
Prepared.
That's why we have the big desk here.
That's
We
right.
can do whatever. Where are my hands right now? I don't know.
Who knows what's going on down
You have a
there?
good stretch there.
Very limber.
Well, he learned from, well, now I can't remember her name. Anyway, Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah. A tease is what we call it.
That's tease. Jim,
Yes.
what's the biggest thing that's going to go down today?
Okay, today on the movie side of things at San Diego Comic-Con, the first thing up is the DreamWorks animation panel. Now, they're touting such films as How to Train Your Dragon 2, sequel, obviously, to the huge blockbuster. Turbo, which hits theaters tomorrow, July 19th, Friday.
The Snoop Dogg joint, I believe it's called.
Yes. Snoop Dogg is indeed a voice in there. And then Peabody and Sherman, which is based on the old 60s cartoon.
That's amazing.
That we have
Everything
that.
old is new again.
And then later on today, this is a big one. Ender's Game, Harrison Ford making his return to Comic-Con, his second appearance. He was here a couple of years ago for Cowboys and Aliens. He will be joined on stage by Ender himself, Asa Butterfield, Haley Steinfeld, who a lot of you know from True Grit. She was fantastic in that. And then director Gavin Hood and producer Bob Orsi, who, of course, does a lot of stuff on TV. He's one of J.J. Abrams' camp. He did the last 2 Star Trek movies. And then, following Ender's Game, Divergent, which is based on the bestseller. It's going to be fans' first look at this highly anticipated movie. Shailene Woodley, who you might know from The Descendants, stars in there, along with, and other cast members there, will include Theo James and Mekhi Phifer, and let Dad put on his glasses here for a
Here we
second.
go.
And Maggie Q, and of course director Neil Berger and Miles Teller. So there's a whole, and author Veronica Roth, the lovely and charming Veronica Roth.
You just met her.
I did. I got to interview her. I was expecting Joan Plowright, and this beautiful
Another
young,
Joan Plowright is what I'm always
yes,
telling
you
you.
know, and this beautiful young woman shows up, and she's rich, and I'm thinking, marry me. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So
Gotta put it out there. Put out the good vibes.
that's right.
That's a lot. That's
That's
just
just one section of Comic-Con.
That's just
And
that's
just one
just
day.
2 hours at that show.
Yeah.
And that's just
Just
movie stuff for today.
What about TV?
TV, we're starting a little slow today, but there's some new shows that are here today. Intelligence, this screen this morning, which is Josh Holloway from Lost, kind of big return in this action series on CBS. Starcross on the CW. The stuff that's really exciting this afternoon, though, first of all, personally, I'm really excited about Hannibal because I just freaking love that show. So they're coming to talk about season 2 with Brian Fuller, and one of the stars, Hugh Dancy, who plays Will Graham, is going to be here. But honestly, I'd say the big event for TV today is a show that's 20 years old and really will have nothing new to talk about unless they shock us, and that's X-Files. They're doing a big reunion panel for the 20th anniversary. Duchovny's here, Gillian Anderson is here, Chris Carter's here. They brought back almost all their big writers who have all gone on to huge things. Vince Gilligan, who created Breaking Bad, is here for that. Howard Gordon, who went on to produce 24 and Homeland. So this is a huge event. There were people camping out last night for Room 20 to see the X-Files. And I think that's going to be sort of the talk of the town today. Everyone's hoping they're going to say, hey, we're about to shoot a movie, which is highly unlikely.
The last movie was 2 or 3 years ago?
Yeah, it's like maybe,
years,
3 or 4 maybe.
2008.
But yeah, they'll be asked. This is the table for that. They'll be asked, of course, will you do another one? And I have a feeling it'll mostly be we'd love to, we hope, but hey, maybe.
Just kickstart it.
Here we go.
Kickstart
Here
it.
comes the
Yeah.
Kickstarter business.
That's actually not a bad idea. Somebody will do that now.
Just give me my cut. You mentioned Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad is coming, but it's going to be on Sunday. It's Sunday. Even though the movies kind of slow down by Sunday, TV is huge on Sunday still, and so there'll be some huge stuff.
Well,
including
I saw you
Breaking Bad.
tweeting about it, leading up to the show. You were talking about there's over 100 TV panels, right?
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
a lot.
They've gone all in on TV here. I mean, just not only are you seeing, of course, all the genre shows, the things you'd expect to be here, like Arrow, but all these other shows that are, cult series in one way or another, just have strong, passionate fan bases. Like It's Always Sunny. I know it's like, okay, It's Always Sunny is just about some people hanging out at a bar, but it's obviously got that edginess to it, that sort of cult following.
Right.
And they come to Comic-Con. There's a couple things I don't quite understand. I don't quite understand why TV Land is here doing a panel.
Because everyone loves Roseanne Barr, period.
And they're bringing Roseanne Barr,
Yeah.
but if you want to see Roseanne Barr, she'll be on.
But Home and Garden.
Roseanne Barr, okay.
Hey, I love Roseanne. That was a great show, but that's a weird fit. They're going to show a special sneak preview of Kirstie, the new Kirstie Alley sitcom. That one's a stretch, but I do think this other stuff you're just seeing, all the animation, all these shows that they know have passionate fan bases come, and all the rooms are pretty much packed.
I hope everybody just asked Kirstie Alley about playing Savick.
Oh yeah, this is the
Bring
crowd
back
for it.
Savick.
This is the room for it. They'll
There we
go
go.
Wrath the Con on her here.
Joey, what's going on with comics?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Not a whole lot.
Are you one of these comic elitists who's like, this show has lost
No,
its
absolutely
soul?
not. I think I see
Those
that a
exist?
lot.
Yeah, oh yeah, big time.
I do see that a lot, but I think it's not so much that comics have disappeared from Comic-Con, it's just that it's grown into other things. So all the stuff that has always been here is still here. It's just you have to fight a little harder to see it all. But there's tons of panels for comic stuff, from Marvel and DC, of course, to Image and Valiant and Boom Studios and Archaea and all those indie publishers.
Sure.
I would say the biggest thing today, though, which is crazy to think about, but it's the 10th anniversary of the Walking Dead comic.
Insane.
So, it launched in 2013, or not 2013.
Not how many.
Welcome to the future.
Yeah, it's terrible. But they're doing the big anniversary panel today with Robert Kirkman, just
Right.
talking about 10 years of endless zombie stories, which is crazy because obviously in the last few years it's gotten really huge with the TV show and how successful it is. And now the comics picked up. And last year they had Walking Dead 100 come out, which is a big deal.
Yeah.
But this year, 10 years for an ongoing indie book is crazy.
Well, it's 10 years, and then he's slamming his foot on the gas by putting it out now, doing 2 books a month, right?
Yeah, they're doing a big event a big event story, and that's going to come out bi-weekly, which is also crazy for an indie book.
How many ways has this guy invented by now of killing a zombie?
He always comes up with more somehow.
It's insane.
It's
10
crazy.
years.
There's places to stick the.
When you have an endless pool of money in your backyard, you can just go out there.
That's why I wonder, what's the life of Walking Dead? How long does that last?
I mean,
How
he
long will it
said,
be successful?
Kirkman has written that it's meant to be endless.
Sure. I just wonder,
ongoing.
how long will it capture people's interest?
I mean, how long have zombies been around?
Yeah.
you know?
I've gone out on the record, on a limb, saying that I think Walking Dead, we are watching another Star Wars. I think we're all in the middle of it right now, and we don't see it. I think this is something that's already, it's done it so quietly, you don't even think about the fact that it has mutated and gone out and infected every other version of pop culture, from board games to
multimedia,
video
yeah.
games to TV. I'm sure there'll be a movie
Just like
eventually.
IGN.
Oh, IGN.com.
I do want to say though, it's funny because I get those tweets when I cover TV, so I'll tweet like there's over 100 panels, and people will be like, "There's no more comic books at Comic-Con," and so I had to count, and I counted it, and there was about 250 comic book panels here.
There's absolutely.
It's dedication to a Twitter response.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, here we go. I mean, look at Walking Dead. And it's hard to believe. Like, I remember the first time I ever got a Walking Dead. You know what I mean? The trade paperback. My friend was like, "Oh, you like comics, obviously. You like zombies. Have you heard of this Walking Dead?" And he gave me number 1. And it was just like, oh my gosh. And like I remember in the opening thing, like Kirkman, had a write-up of how this is going to be a never-ending story.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's all, more power to you, but are you going to get past issue like 24? Like,
And I think that's what you talked about, someone handing it to you. I think that's what has driven this book up until it became a TV show and became
Right.
such a huge...
yeah, that was the big tipping point for it.
Right, and now it's like people are going... I saw, that big Walking Dead compendium that they sell, the
Yeah.
volume
Yeah.
1 and 2.
There's
It was
two of
in
them now.
It was in Target. Like, even 3 or 4 years ago, you wouldn't have seen that in Target.
Sure.
Let alone comics at all.
Yeah.
So
How long do we think the Walking Dead TV series will last, though?
I mean, I'm
2022 or whatever they said. That's
I mean,
fine.
I think that sucker's got at least total a 10-year run in it. I mean, look, if you're thinking about the fact that Mad Men's ending next year, season 7, and that's never been a big ratings hit. It's obviously critically acclaimed and it gives them prestige. But Walking Dead is such a big hit for them, and all TV shows start to lose audiences as they go on, and I'm sure it will. But I think that it's going to run for a while. I think.
It's for Walking Dead, the TV show, right? Like Kirkman's always talked about the book, that it's Rick's story, and like maybe one day something horrible happens and it goes off with Carl. But with the way the Walking Dead, the show feels, and the way that ensemble plays, it could totally be one day that Rick's just like, what, I don't want to do this show anymore, and they're like, all right, now it's Daryl's story, and like we just go into complete. And I think that might even be more refreshing for somebody like Joey and I who love the book so much and read them nonstop to see like, okay, I don't know what's around the next corner because I have no idea what this character's going to do.
And that's the thing. It's like it's built almost like a superhero universe in that there's so many characters and the world is so fleshed out and there's so many options you can go to. Like
Yeah.
I think the book is really Carl's story, since he's the one that's sort of growing up in that. But I mean, obviously Rick's not going to last forever. So what happens after that? It becomes Carl's story and whoever the people that he meets when he goes on in his own separate path. I think the show would probably do something similar.
Yeah.
Greg, do you think we'll hear anything about season 2 of The Walking Dead game?
Whew, yeah, I do. I don't know how concrete it'll be. I'm actually hosting a Walking Dead panel, so if you're here, come watch it.
Humble brag.
Funny you should mention.
I'm sure you're here watching the live stream.
Maybe they only got a Friday ticket. They want to come see, or a Saturday ticket. Went to Saturday. Come watch the Walking Dead Telltale Games panel. But yeah, 400 Days is out now. We know that 400 Days is the bridge between season 1 into season 2. We need to know about what's happening with the Vita version of the game because that's something announced at E3. Yeah.
to know.
Well, I mean, like that's the. You figure you're talking about milestones, right? 400 Days is behind us now, so the only milestone before season 2 is Vita. So, and they're not going to do a whole panel about Vita. So you get Vita out of the way, and then you talk about what's happening in season 2 and where we're picking up. And I mean, we won't know those answers. Hopefully, we get a teaser trailer. See an old Clementine.
We jump 30 years in the future. Yeah, sure. So the Comic-Con show floor and the panels, they're all taking place in the convention center behind us here.
Right
But
through this wall. If you
yeah.
could punch through it, you'd see it.
if any of you have extra vision, just look through the wall. But the show spills out here into downtown San Diego, and there's stuff happening all over the place. Right up the street, there's a Gurin hat shop.
Sure.
Our good friend Carl Stewart, who...
Carl Stewart, Tomb Raider.
He made Tomb Raider all by himself.
Yeah,
of course.
just him. He's those two hands.
He was just tweeting about, yes, you'll find me queuing up outside Gurin Brothers, waiting to
there
buy
it
a
is, there it
Breaking
is.
Bad hat. So, yeah, they're selling the Heisenberg hats
Yeah.
there at the store, which is very
I
cool.
mean, that's amazing when you watch a show like Breaking Bad and you would not think like the merchandising potential.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
And yet there's a Heisenberg hat for you.
Buy a hat like your grandfather wore.
And cook meth. Yeah.
It's a positive message.
What are the other events that are happening outside here in the city? I know IGN's having a party here
Sure.
tonight with,
There's the IGN party, yeah.
World's End, and there's an Assassin's Creed party tomorrow night.
Yes.
Isn't that on a pirate ship?
Yeah, it's on a
there's
pirate ship.
ship for
That's
Assassin's
pretty
Creed,
rad.
Black Flag. Then there is the Walking Dead 10th anniversary party too that Weezer's playing at.
Isn't
Which is like-
why not?
75th
Like, okay,
anniversary
yeah,
of
totally.
Superman as well?
75th anniversary Superman party is
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
Apparently Zack Snyder and Henry Cavill.
Yeah, they'll be here, which
Cavill.
people are wondering maybe they'll announce Man of Steel sequel, like if they're
Could
bringing them
be.
here.
That could be.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like, look, you've got a captive audience. Why not give them something?
That's you talk about this captive audience. Where would that happen? Like, there isn't a Man of Steel retrospective.
But there's a
or
Warner
anything, is
Brothers
there?
There's a
panel,
Warner Brothers
yeah.
panel, so they and that's later this week, and they would basically they walk out on stage, give a wave and everything, and we'll bring definitely in a future edition of this very panel that we're doing here. We can tell you about what we're expecting at the Warner Brothers panel, and then also another thing because of the IGN party that you mentioned. It is in conjunction with The World's End, and in case you guys don't know it, The World's End is Edgar Wright's new movie, and it's Simon Pegg, Martin Freeman, Nick Frost, and Rosamund Pike.
They're saying part of the Cornetto trilogy. Right?
Yes, and it's basically it's a bunch of guys who were school friends in the early '90s, get back together for a pub crawl. It's 20 years later, and their old hometown has been taken over by killer robots.
Awesome.
We're going to talk about
It's
that.
really fun.
We can talk about that in just a moment. We've got to take a quick break right now, but we'll be back in just a moment.